Pause. In this situation, you have two options. 1, take a deep breath and laugh it off, or 2, let your rage out and let him run for his life. Well, I choose option 2. As a matter of fact, for the entire week, every time we felt anger or frustration, we let it out to see the effect it had on us. This is the story of how being angry for a week made us happier.
Okay, so if you're anything like us, you probably associate anger with this.
God damn it.
We always thought anger was bad, and honestly, I felt pretty ashamed every time I felt angry, and so would just try and suppress all that frustration down.
But apparently, this is wrong. Researchers have actually found that expressing your anger in a constructive and non-violent way can actually lead to a happier and healthier life. A German study done by the University of Jena showed that patients who express their anger live an average of 2 years longer than those who hold back their rage. This is because suppressing negative emotions lead to an elevated pulse, which can result in high blood pressure and increase a person's risk of developing a wide range of conditions from heart disease to cancer.
So, once again, we decided to be human guinea pigs and test if actively letting out our anger is worth it.
During the week, we released our anger in 2 types of ways, through physical and cognitive expression. Let's start with our physical experience. Every time we felt angry during the week, we let it out by screaming into a pillow. Yeah, this was very uncomfortable for me. It's not what I'm used to, and it took me a while to scream without feeling like an absolute idiot. But with time, I did get a hang of it, and I gotta say, this practice was surprisingly really helpful. It really felt like I was releasing my frustrations, and it made me feel immediately calmer afterwards.
Now I, on the other hand, am already a pro at letting my rage out and about. I mean, Stiz pillow screaming was a rookie move. Pathetic if you ask me. So I decided that there were better and bigger ways for my inner anger to be unleashed.
Oh, easy, relax. I tried breaking things as well, but I was simply too strong for this sort of rage exercise. Wow. So I stuck to the pillow screaming to avoid hurting anyone, unlike someone else.
But seriously, we're not crazy, guys, okay? There's actually science behind all of this. When we scream or let out our anger physically and non-violently, our body releases endorphins, which are feel-good chemicals that discharge tension in our body and calm down our nerves. That's why we immediately felt calmer after screaming in a pillow.
But for you guys to believe it, you gotta feel it. So let's try this experiment together. Grab a pillow, think of something that makes you angry, and at the count of 3, let's yell into the pillow together.
Seriously guys, put us on pause, grab a pillow, and let's do this thing together. We'll wait.
Speed it! So really just let it out. It's just you guys and us, no one else. 3, 2, 1. You didn't scream. What the heck? Oh my god, you really did me like that, huh? For those of you that joined me in this experience, thank you. And for those of you that were just sitting and watching,
apparently, not only does releasing your anger make you feel calmer, but it can also make you more focused and creative.
To understand this, we gotta take it way back. From an evolutionary perspective, anger was triggered when we felt threatened or our tribe was attacked. Anger was responsible to put our brain on high alert mode and creatively find solutions to the challenges we faced.
In today's world where we don't really have to fight for our food, anger still releases norepinephrine into our brain, which is associated with the ability to concentrate. Anger can give us a boost in focus, but it can also lead to more flexible and unstructured thought processes which make us more creative.
Some say this is why people like Beethoven or Steve Jobs, who were notorious for letting out their anger, are known as legendary creative geniuses. So yeah, I think now I finally get it. I mean, I used to look at Rach when she would get angry and be like, girl, loser, get a life. Now I'm like, girl, work it, girl, get angry, girl, you got this, girl.
Okay, I just want to clarify, letting out my anger doesn't solve the problem, but it allows me to clear out that energy so that I can think rationally rather than have the anger fog up my mind. And this is where the cognitive release of anger comes in.
So, cognitive release basically means to take time to process your anger through thought, reflections, or discussion, so you can understand the signals that anger is trying to communicate to you.
Anger signals that something is not quite right, and it makes us aware of an injustice or deeper issue that's suppressed.
Okay, think of it like a volcano. Anger is the eruption that brings to surface memories, behaviors, or experiences that are bothering us, and that we need to take a closer look at. So during the week, we spent time journaling our frustrations or talking to each other about what made us angry.
Honestly, we weren't expecting much from this. One day we sat down thinking we would talk about our anger triggers for 5 minutes just to get some B-roll for this video, but we found ourselves talking for over an hour and having some really big realizations on why certain things make us angry and how we can go about improving them for the future.
This was for sure the highlight for me. I mean, it made me realize that I was looking at anger totally wrong, and we can actually use it to our advantage to really search within us and understand what we need to work on to live a happier and more fulfilling life.
So, was getting angry for a week worth it? Yes, I would say so.
So in terms of value, we would rate this experience a solid 9 because it really helped us gain a better way to process and deal with anger, and it totally changed my perception about this emotion.
In terms of fun, we rate this a 6. The physical release and smashing things gave us a good laugh, but other than that, the rest was more introspective and deep. What I found really interesting is the importance of having both physical and cognitive release. Releasing the anger physically calmed and cleared my mind, which made the cognitive release more valuable because I was able to think more clearly, process what triggered me, and identify a path to fix it.
What we really hope that you guys take away from this is a change in perception towards anger. It's not something to be ashamed of or to hide, but rather something to acknowledge, release, in a constructive way, and especially to learn from. So next time you feel angry, instead of turning it off, try to listen to what the anger is telling you and channel it into something more positive and productive.
We want to end with a metaphor we read that really summed it up. Anger is like a fire. When left unchecked, it can be destructive for ourselves and those around us. Yet, when managed and used wisely, it can be a beneficial and powerful instrument that leads to enlightenment.
With that said, we will see you next week, and don't forget,
Dare to be angry!